I'm giving somebody the blues today.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to talk about some of the polls that I've uploaded over the past couple of months. Like the oldest one here is 3 months ago, right? So this is player voted, you guys' opinion, and it's some of the most important topics related to the game. Out of 23,000 votes, 35% of people voted they play Wi-Fi. This one, I think it was recommended to me by a player, but they wanted to see how many people play on Wi-Fi versus landline. The reason why they asked that question is because they feel like the game is very laggy and Wi-Fi players are blamed for it. But in my opinion, I don't think that's the case, right? I think that sometimes I fight against landline people and it's just the same problems as Wi-Fi. In my opinion, I view it as a netcode, like an overall infrastructure problem and not just Wi-Fi. But it does make sense that Wi-Fi would be relatively worse than landline because it's just Wi-Fi. But I don't put all the burden on them. Favorite newcomer in Tekken 8. This one is pretty interesting because they only have 4 newcomers this time. In Tekken 7, they had about 10. Unanimous winner is Reina. The reason why I voted Marizu at the time is because she just released, right? This is from 3 months ago. So I was much more enthusiastic about her introduction. But as some time went on, she's more stand slot and just mix up 50-50s. And I kind of don't like that style of gameplay. I still think her story has somewhat potential and whatnot. Like there's something there with the character, but she's not as hype as she was on launch. But Victor, on the other hand, the loser of this poll, is absolutely diabolical. And in season 3, they made it worse. This character is like a bully character for like chalk eaters. Like if you play Victor, you care about winning and nothing else. Like you just want to bully people into the dirt. And I really dislike what that character represents. Next one, what controller do you play on? 66% of the players voted controller out of 33,000 votes. Season 3 reveal DLC all at once or one at a time. The majority of players voted all at once, and surprisingly the developers did that. The only character they're holding is the final one, and I think that's a guest character. Would you be okay with Season 3 removing redundant and broken moves? 90% of the player base out of 15,000 votes said yes. The developers did not do that. For the first time ever, players were throwing around the idea of taking moves out the game. You could just see how many moves that this game has to where so many players were open to that idea. Never before did I think that would be the case, but the developers obviously didn't do that. They put more into the game. Which game is harder, Tekken 7 or Tekken 8? I voted Tekken 8. And I think the top comment on this poll said Tekken 8, but for all the wrong reasons. Tekken 7, yes, is a harder game when you talk about inputs, when you talk about how much time you have to do combos and follow-ups and stuff like that. It's a harder game, like kind of like, was it input-wise? But Tekken 8 is a harder game to survive in. Like surviving in 7, which much easier than surviving in Tekken 8. But I think Tekken 7 is a more demanding game. If this was which game is more demanding, I would vote 7. But also, you could view it from the perspective of, is the game really harder if the whole ranks are inflated? If all the characters are super easy? If every character kills? So you could view it from that perspective as well. Limiting it to just like surviving on defense is only looking at a small portion of what Tekken 8 is as a whole product. Which stage environment do you want in Season 3? Traditional, which is temple, dojo, or castle. Urban, which is factory, mall, airport. Nature, which is snow, jungles, or mountains. And then sci-fi is space, otherworldly, or the future. I don't think we need any more temple, dojos, or castles, unless it was like kind of the castle that I have represented in the picture. That would be kind of cool. As for like run down temples or Mishima temples, we don't need that. We only need like one a game of that idea. But obviously, I would like to see a mall of this size, right? Like the multiple layer mall. Kind of an airport, but I would like to see an airport that's a little bit more fancy, more modern. But what the winner of this poll is like snow, jungle, mountains. I think it would be cool to have like exactly what I demonstrated in this picture, where you have this open snowy field with just a beautiful background. We don't need a military base. We don't need some weird structure that we can't even like comprehend what it is. Is it a factory? Is it a military base? Is it just some industrial? Like, we just give us a nice, beautiful scenery. But yeah, also you could talk about Waffle House and stuff like that. Strip club, a prison. This is why urban is so many things. Predict Season 3 next Universal Edition. Everyone kind of guessed correctly with new moves, right? Do you like Season 3 reveal? Most people said yes. Some people said no. This was when we didn't really understand what back to basics meant though. If I was to ask this again, people probably would not be too happy. Are you excited for Roger Jr.'s return? A lot of people voted yes, and I think a lot of people would say yes, right? A lot of people are interested to see what this character has. He's not like a recycled DLC character. He's a fresh idea. I do think he's going to be very strong in terms of gameplay. You talk about a Mishima, King, poking, Dragunov style hybrid. Yeah, get prepared for that. Can you Korean backdash? I can't, and everyone clowns me for it. I voted no. The majority of the players voted no. A lot of people in this game, or a lot of people did vote yes. But I think that Korean backdashing is overrated. I said it. I think that if you are defensively strong enough, you kind of don't really need it, bro. Like if you're trying to win a tournament or something, yeah, you need it. But if you're just playing Tekken in your free time and you just want to like win some matches to get good at the game, if you know how to punish, if you know how to sidestep, if you know how to whiff punish, if you just know how to, if you could get someone's timing down, like if you're blocking hatchet kicks or like Devil Jin's down 2 or whatever, Jin's down 2, if you're blocking that stuff, bro, who cares about a KDB? There's people that I fight who know how to KDB, but then their timing is off. They get counter hit all over the place. They're dropping combos. It's like where's your priorities? Instead of focusing on Korean backdashing, get a solid fundamental, because even if you are Korean backdashing, someone could just forward to you and you're in a mix-up loop. So it's better to learn how to deal with that mix-up loop with sidestepping punishment or stuff like that. If you want to learn it, it's there, but I think trying to force someone to learn it or saying that it's mandatory, not so much. What are you most excited for in Season 3? Balance changes, of course, everyone's looking forward to that. What rank did you reach in Season 2? Tekken God of Destruction is what I reached. Are you excited about Kurimitsu's return? A lot of people voted yes. Also, a lot of people voted no. A lot of people fear this character being super strong, and I don't blame them. Same thing with Fakamran, where he was a monster and people didn't like fighting him. So the developers have to show us that they can release this character and should be fun, unique, but not overpowered. Do you believe every character in Tekken 8 is broken? This is a quote, right, that people throw around. Like, every character in Tekken 8 is broken, right? All the characters are S tier. All the characters are this. And I was like, let's see if the players really believe that. I was so shocked to see that it's almost a 50-50. And for a very long time, it was a 50-50 on this poll. Now, obviously, I would fall on the side of yes. And I think the people who are saying no is probably downplaying their own characters. Obviously, Lydia, Harang, and some of those characters are like really powerful, but Yoshimitsu isn't that far behind. So that's why I think like every character is kind of broken. You could run everyone down with like a combo and mix up and it's over. I did see someone in the comment section say something like every character is strong but not every character is broken or something like that. So maybe if I would have worded it differently and not used the word broken, maybe it would have tipped the scales a little bit. I saw someone say something like that. Are you excited for Bob's return? I voted yes. You know, Slum Bob is my secondary, and Kunimitsu as well, so I'm looking forward to those characters. Are you happy with Heat Smash install nerfs? Yes, everyone loved those changes. We would like more, please. How strong do you consider your own character to be? It's interesting that everyone put 56%. That's like a safe answer, right? Not too strong, not too little. Most carried male character of Season 2. Law is the winner of this poll, followed up by King and Eddie, who tied. For a very long time, Eddie was in front of King, if I'm not mistaken, but those two characters are now neck and neck. Yeah, Law is really carried at all levels of play. Low level, mid level, high level, pro level. Law is just deadly at every single level. It sucks that they keep buffing him. Same thing with King. And Eddie is a scrub killer, and I know that the scrubs probably feel very strongly about him, so I felt his inclusion was necessary. But Season 2 is ending. Rate my coverage of Season 2. So this was kind of like a retrospective, reflective type of poll where I wanted people to tell me whether or not I did good or bad. There's always room for improvement and things to do better. Do you like Tekken 8 Season 3 update? Of course, everyone does not like that. Did your character get buffed or nerfed? Yoshimitsu got a small nerf. His new moves are kind of redundant, but a lot of people said they didn't know at the time. I wonder what they will say now. Is rank better after the reset and improvements? Once again, everyone said no. And I think more people probably will say no. What do you play Tekken 8 on? Monitor or TV? Most people play on monitor. Some people play on TV. How often do you play Tekken 8 daily? I did this poll 5 days ago because, you know, a lot of people were quitting. And as you can see here, 30,000 votes, 46%. A lot of people quit. So when people say, lol, everyone's saying they're going to quit but still playing, I mean, look at this poll. But also, because if 46% of 30,000 people quit this game, realistically, that would be reflected in the stats. But when we see the player numbers, it hasn't really fallen that far. Rate season 3, 1 out of 4. I said bad with 35% of the people who voted on this, but 50% said terrible. I won't review it that negatively because I think they did more of what people do not like, and I don't like that, but it's not soul crushing the way season 2 is. Like, I think season 2 is worse, and season 3 is just a little bit more of season 2 without nerfs. It could be worse in terms of what season 3 means. Like, it means definitively that this is the game and the devs aren't listening. So that side is very grim. But like the actual update itself is like, I don't know. You said there's 4,400 people on Steam playing Tekken. Like, the numbers fallen a little bit, but it hasn't fallen as much as I would have thought. But fallen is still fallen. And I think the developers should do something to restore hope, restore faith in humanity, you know.